All right, so 7 principles to manifesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here. And where are we here? Perfect. So the reason that I want to do this with you guys is because I think it's really important to understand how manifesting works. And it's not just about like, okay, please, universe, just send me this. It has to do with many things that are involved in manifesting. And so it's not just one thing, it's not just two things. It really is about our vibration and a lot more than that. So I just want to bring this to your attention because these steps are really important because what happens here is with these manifesting practices, you can do all of them or you can do a few of them and you might see results. And especially intuitives and energy number threes, they're really, really good at manifesting. And so this is where I just want to cover this with you. So first one is clarity of intentions. So be clearly define what you want to manifest. And so I have a manifesting journal. I forgot to grab it. It's over on my desk. And this is where we need to be really specific about our goals and desires. So for instance, I desired my own place when I was in a state of not having my own place. I wanted to live near my son. I wanted to live near my old hometown, and I put it out on Facebook. I had actually manifested it in my journal, writing it down, what the space would be like, what color it would be, how it would feel. And the more detailed and precise you are, the easier it is for the universe to respond. So that's the first thing, is like you have to get down to the point of like being so specific. So for instance, for those of you who know, I'm a relationship coach and I'm dating someone new. And in my manifesting journal, it actually says, I make us cups of tea in the morning. And the guy that I'm dating drinks tea. He doesn't drink coffee. And so it was that detailed that I got down to it. Okay. And so this is one of the things that you need to really, 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 really pay attention to is the clarity of your intentions. So say for instance, I'm just going to use just an example. So for instance, it could be like, so what do you want to manifest? So I want to manifest a new vehicle. And so this vehicle is going to be, say red in color. And it's going to be a hatchback. It's going to be able to house me. And if I go traveling somewhere, then it's going to be able to carry all of the luggage. And I want a roof rack for my stand-up paddleboard. And do you know what I mean? Like getting it so clear as to what it is that I want. So this is the intention part that's extremely important. Okay. The next one is positive visualization. So visualize your desired outcome in a positive and vivid way. So I want you to really dive deep into the imagination piece and then create these mental images of achieving your goals. So this is where you can be like, you visualize yourself getting the keys from the from the person who sells it to you, and you sit in your car for the very first time and how that feels, and even possibly like smelling the new upholstery and the emotions associated with the success that it's already happened. Like, oh my God, it just feels so amazing that I get to sit in my new car because my older vehicle has it's got way too many kilometers on it now. And this is part of one of my visualizations, is to have myself a brand new car and what it feels like to drive that, because I have earned the money for myself to buy that vehicle and treat myself to it. Okay, do you see that? So the next thing I want you to do is number 3 is positive affirmations. So positive affirmations to reinforce your beliefs and align your thoughts and goals. So affirmations are positive statements that reflect your desired reality. Repeat them regularly with conviction. And so, as you know, I'm a sticky note girl. I've got sticky notes everywhere. And so one of the things that I do is I will write out something, say, I have something in my bathroom. I can't remember what it is. I say it all the time whenever I'm washing my hands, but it is one of those things where my biggest thing is positive affirmations. So my positive affirmation that I say all the time is I trust in the universe. I do. I trust in the universe. I trust in the universe to provide. Every morning I wake up and I say, I am love and abundance. I am I am deserving of wealth and health, and I am a divine being, open to receiving open to receiving money and wealth and abundance. Okay, so these are the things that I constantly say with positive affirmation to myself, because what I'm doing is I'm reprogramming my subconscious. Okay, and I even sometimes, if I need to jump on YouTube and I'm feeling like I'm sort of low in energy, I will put on a positive affirmations video. I can share something here in the notes of this video, because it is really about resetting our nervous system and the way that our brain thinks. Okay. The fourth is belief and faith. And so this is cultivate a strong belief that what you desire is achievable, because it's okay for us to be like, okay, I have clear intentions, I have positive visualization, I have affirmations, but if you don't believe that you deserve something, then it's not going to come to you. And that's where this is really, really important for us, because if you want money, if you want a partner, if you want a new place to live, if you want a new career, whatever that is, if you don't believe that your desire is achievable, if I didn't believe that someone amazing could come into my life, then it wasn't going to happen. And this is where you need to trust the process and have faith that the universe is working in your favor. Doubt and negative beliefs can hinder this manifestation process. And this is why I was really, really adamant about you guys learning about your underlying energy in the second week of training of the mastermind group, is because you need to understand that those challenges can be really detrimental to yourself. So for instance, I have a 2 and a 9. My 2 is the criticism and the critical thinking. Okay. And this is one of those things that I have to be really careful, because if those negatives of belief come into my process and go, oh, well, I'm not worthy and I could never do that. No, those thoughts aren't even in my mind anymore. So the belief and the faith is extremely important in this part of the process. Okay. So number 5 is alignment of your thoughts and actions. And so ensure your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are in harmony with your goals. So what do you want? Why do you want it? This is part of going through the process of working with someone like a coach, because you're going to have to take inspired action towards your desires. So for example, and I'm just going to use Jax as an example, she realized that the room that she was working in for her Reiki was too small. So she took action. She moved the bed over to the other room, and she's taking inspired action. And this is how you're going to get to your desires. Okay, so I take inspired action all the time because I am posting on social media. I'm an online coach. That is where I find my clients. And so the thing is manifestation isn't just about thinking positively. It also involves the proactive steps to bring your goals to fruition. So how are you going to get there? What's your process? When you get a client, like from the minute that they contact you, how are you going to work with them? What's the process of working through that? I've just had 2 inquiries for one-on-one coaching today, and I'm just putting together my signature series for coaching. And so this is the part is like, okay, you know what? How do they work with me? They can either work with the divine time or work with their divine purpose blueprint and then pay for separate coaching, or they can buy a 3 to 6 months program with me and work through that process in a structured divine timing cycle. So this is one of the things that I want you to know is that how are you going to bring your goals to fruition is extremely important. So if you're working on something, how are you going to get there? Because if you don't know how you're going to get there, it's great to have all of these ideas. It's a really great to have all of this. Yeah, I'm ready, universe. But how are you going to get yourself there? Do you have a payment program? Do you have a website? You don't need a website, but like, how are you going to go through accepting money from people? Because the universe says, okay, great, I've got clients for you, but how are you going to be accepting the money? Okay. Um, the next thing I want you to think about is number 7 is the gratitude practice. And so how can you have gratitude? So cultivating an attitude of gratitude you need to express gratitude for what you currently have, for the manifestations that are on their way. Gratitude can raise your vibration and attract positive energy. So it's extremely important for us to be grateful for everything we currently have. So I wake up in the morning and I am like, oh, universe, I am so grateful for this warm bed, these clean sheets, the food that I'm going to have in my belly later. Like I am just super grateful for everything that I have, because thanking the universe for what you already currently have is an extremely important step to manifesting, because if we just get something and then we don't turn around and we don't thank the universe for it, then how does the universe know that you want more of it? Okay. And so this is why the vibration and the attraction of this positive energy is super important. And for you to stay on that positive side, if you're falling into the negativity of yourself, then this is something that you really need to dive in deep on, because we're going to get into this within the next couple of weeks within the energy grid. Okay. So the last one is the hardest one. And I'm so impatient in my ruling number. Super impatient, but you need to let go and allow. Holy smokes. That's hard. So you need to really release attachment to the outcome and trust that the timing of the universe, okay? So you need to allow things to unfold naturally, and being overly attached or obsessed with the outcome can create resistance and impede the manifestation process. This is one of the hardest pieces of the 7 principles to manifesting, because manifesting is all about personal, and it's a personal thing that you have with contract with the universe. Everything is already pre-written. It's called the Akashic Records. And if you don't know what that is, some people tap into their own Akashic Records, or people read Akashic Records for other people. But the thing is that people resonate with different approaches. So it's really important for you to approach your manifestation with a realistic mindset, and understand that it may not always happen in the way or the time frame that you personally expect it. So if you want $1 million, you need to feel on how that's going to feel, because if someone all of a sudden gets $1 million and they don't know what to do with it, I'm in the process of selling my house, and I'm going to get proceeds from the sale of my house. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have a list of things that I want to spend my money on. I want to get my tooth fixed. I want to buy a new car. I want to invest my money. I have these things where I will circulate my money back out to the universe, so that it can circulate back into me. And this is where we need to really talk about, I always say that words are spells. So what you're putting out to the universe will always come back to you. So if you're like, oh, this is too expensive, or, oh, I'm always spending money, then this is where I really challenge you to change your wording. Okay, so I constantly say, I'm just circulating money out into the universe and it'll circulate back to me. And this is where, we always want to make sure that the ethical considerations of other people are taken into account when manifesting. So we don't want to cause harm for anyone. I always say, if someone has done me wrong, then, karma will get them, and that's okay, whatever that is. But this is where we can work with the divine timing cycle. And the divine timing cycle is 6 stages. And it's not something that I teach in our mastermind, but it is something that I do when I'm working with clients. Is We have 6 different stages that we go through. So our first one is awareness. Awareness is really huge. The second one is acceptance. If you can accept where you're at right now with the awareness of, I might have a little bit of a negative mindset, or I've been in this space of lack and fear for a long time. Some people have that within their ruling number and or their birth card. This can be something that you need to be aware of. Then we get into the space of self-responsibility. Self-responsibility is like, okay, I am going to take action for the way that I have brought myself into this world, and now I need to get myself out. The next one is activation. So what actions do we have to take so that we can go into the final 2 stages of it? And then we have acceleration, which is a point where we are changing so much from the awareness to the acceleration, is all of this stuff that we're working through. And then finally we transmute. So we transmute. So I want you to think about the life of a butterfly, right? If we think about the life of a butterfly, and it gets birthed as an egg and it grows into a caterpillar, okay? And it's like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm a caterpillar. Okay, this is cool. All right. Well, it has to realize that it's a caterpillar and it has to go through this whole process. But then all of a sudden, we go into this idea of like, oh, I'm not supposed to stay a caterpillar. I'm actually supposed to turn into a butterfly. So this is where we can see this process, that this caterpillar turning into a butterfly, because it needs to crawl into a cocoon for it to transmute and for it to change. And that is the final stage, because once it comes out of its cocoon, it transmutes into a beautiful butterfly. And then that butterfly turns around and lays its eggs again. So if you want to think about how this whole process of divine timing happens, this is part of how we work through the universe. Okay. So anytime we're manifesting, we're going to manifest over and over and over again. And this is part of the divine timing cycle. And so these are the things that I just wanted to share with you guys today, because I really think that it's important that when you start to manifest and you really want to get clear on your intentions, it's important that you take all of these steps. I'm going to be uploading this document into the group. And so, yeah, just give me a sec here. I'm just going to stop my share and just see if there's anything. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions, Jax, if you're still on? I wanted to, yeah, I'm just wanting to let you know that this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and stop the recording.